God gives us visions, gives us directions. Sometimes visions change. How the Spirit felt a 10-minute Torah, day 3 of Toldot. We go now to Bereshit, or Genesis chapter 26, where we read verse 1 that says, "And there was a scarcity of food in the land, besides the first scarcity of food, which was in the days of Abraham. And Yitzchak went to Abimelech, sovereign of the Philistines, in Gerar." The last time we had a location given for Yitzchak, it was Be'er Laharoi, the well of him who sees. This is a well of vision, and there are times that things change. Famine, it says, comes to the land where he is living, and famine is most often caused by lack of water, lack of rain. So when your visionary well dries up, what do? This has been a place where we found him earlier walking in the fields and meditating in the evening. This is a place where he took Rivkah to be his wife and was comforted after his mother's death. It seems to be a place where he has birthed his family and established his home life, and things are going well until the well dries up. So it necessitates the fact, I got to move from here. If we're going to live, if we're going to do something, we got to go. Abraham had to leave. Yitzhak has to leave. Yaakov ends up leaving. Later on, Yaakov has to take his family out of the land and go to Mitzrayim. It's generational. Everybody goes through those periods of time where the spiritual meter is reading low. I can tell you I have had the personal experience too often for my comfort, where the well is dry, and I have figuratively scratched the bottom of the well looking for any remnants of moisture as a means of, I got to have something to offer. I have a calling, I have a responsibility, I have a responsibility of sharing the word. Where is the fresh word, Father? Where is the new wine? Where is the fresh oil? King David prayed, "I shall be anointed with fresh oil." We need that. We need that freshness. We need that rain to fall. But there are times that our vision dries up. We tend to lose sight of him, and it necessitates a change of course. Somehow we have to get back to the place of finding some freshness. So we sit and wait by the well and hope that some water falls in it, or what do? How do we do this? The Proverbs writer says in chapter 29, verse 18, a well-rehearsed verse, it says that where there's no vision, the people are let loose. But blessed is he who guards or is shomer over the Torah. We lose our way when our vision becomes dulled and clouded. So, thankfully, we have a resource. The word says in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, in verse 19, Yah says, "See, I am doing what is new. Let it now spring forth. Do you not know it? I am even making a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." When Israel was complaining of lack of water and saying, we and our cattle, our herds, our children, we're all going to die, Yah showed Moshe the rock Horeb, on Mount Sinai, to which he went, struck the rock, and water poured forth. Yah wants his people to be able to drink and to have their thirst quenched. It's a matter, though, of turning to Messiah. We find this shared with us in the book of Yochanan, or John chapter 4, when Yeshua met the woman at the well. And he said to her in verse 10, if you knew the gift of Elohim and who it is who says to you, give me to drink, you would have asked him and he would have given you living water. The woman said to him, Master, you have no vessel and the well is deep. From where then do you have this living water? Are you greater than our father Yaakov, who gave us the well and drank from it himself and his sons and his cattle? Yeshua said, everyone drinking this water is going to get thirsty again, but whoever drinks the water I give him shall never thirst. And again, Yeshua referencing himself as this source of water. He says in Yochanan, or John, if you will, chapter number 7, and it says, on the last day, this is verse 37, the great day of the festival, Yeshua stood and cried out, saying, if anyone thirsts, let him come to me, and let him who believes in me drink. As the scriptures said, out of his innermost shall flow rivers of living water. And this he said concerning the Spirit those believing in him were about to receive, for the set apart Spirit was not yet given, because Yeshua was not yet esteemed or glorified. So that Yeshua is this source of the water, and the flow of the water is found in the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh. And so there is this need then of being fresh in Yeshua, who says, if you drink of me, you'll never get thirsty again. But then he also said, out of your innermost being will be a well. Okay, Father, I'm in Messiah. I trust Messiah for my redemption. I am filled with his Spirit. You flow through me. Where is this quenching of my thirst? And why is it that I feel dry? It's to necessitate and to promote, even provoke a shift, a change. We read in 1 Kings about the time of the appearance of Eliyahu Hanavi, Elijah the prophet. And it says then that after he had confronted Ahab that there would be no rain or dew until he said so, that he went to a place where ravens brought him bread and meat in the morning and in the evening, and he drank from a stream. And it came to be after a while, chapter 17, verse 7 says, that the stream dried up because there had been no rain in the land. Even the miraculous stream that Elijah, drank from, it dried up. He had obeyed Yah. He had done what Yah had told him to do. It would seem that if there is anything within Yah's power, is that he can put water in a stream bed. But it dried up. And then the word of Yah came to him, there is a widow in Zarephath that I want you to go to. She is a Phoenician woman. She's not a part of the covenant. Yah sent the prophet to a woman not only to save himself, but also to save her and her son. When the well goes dry, you're seeking to replenish the well, to have the stream restored, to have a fresh revelation of Yeshua and a fresh infusion of his Spirit. It's not just for your personal benefit. The refreshing that comes, the rejuvenation of your being, the renewal of your valiant heart before him is to benefit others. In fact, that's the key. When we start focusing on us, the spigot turns off. But when we're focused on those that are in need, that are around us, and we see, yeah, it's bigger than me, it's about them. Help me, help them. The spigot can come back on. be refreshed, find a fresh revelation of Yeshua, flow in His Spirit, and give somebody else something to drink. And I'll see you again tomorrow. So then, shalom.